It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Mic check. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody for supporting. We welcome you to The Real Word. I believe this is what, season 5?
Episode 13.
Episode 13. Shout out to everybody that's watching.
He was prepared. Hold on. He was prepared.
If we looking different, if it's looking suited and booted, it's because, you know, new camera, new setup, round table. Shout out to Haitian Flag Day, May 18. You already know. Shout out to Haiti.
I'm not Haitian. Did it for a quick flex.
So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that's been looking out for us since day one. We thank you all for that. Shout out to everyone that's been showing respect to us for everything that we've been doing. Shout out to everyone that's subscribed to the YouTube. That's www.youtube.com/TheRealWordTV. Or you can just look up The Real Word TV on YouTube. One word, The Real Word TV. Shout out to our Instagram. That's at The Real Word Ministries Inc. At The Real Word Ministries Inc. Check out our website, the www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's therealwordministriesinc.org. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. The Real Word Podcast. So check us out. I'm here with my two co-hosts and a special guest. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
It's the regular, the one and only AI, BK Truth, and we got our guy right here, AJ Rom.
AJ Rom. How's it going, everybody?
Chilling.
The artist is here. Chilling.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling the vibes right now. I feel like,
What you feeling?
I feel like going outside and just flexing on the corner, you know?
You said let's go outside. Yeah, man. So tell me what y'all feel about the new setup. Let us know in the comments. Just drop a comment and let us know how you feeling about the new setup. How you feel about how we dressing. How you feel about because we just trying to level up. We trying to make it beautiful for y'all. You know, we shooting in HD 4K now. So shout out to everybody. You see how the screens are switching up. We got the switcher.
I'm trying to keep up with it. I ain't gonna hold
you. We just trying to do things different. Shout out to AJ. He's zoomed in right now. Shout out to all the people. You know, we got that round table talk. We trying to level up.
Yeah, you know. I got cards, man. Y'all want to play some cards, some blackjack?
So AJ, introduce yourself. You know, reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, you already know. Been a couple times, AJ. Also known as AJ Rom, my artist name. Been a pleasure to be here, ready to talk about these topics. Also, new music coming soon by me. BK Truth as well.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do they remember that he's the intro artist?
He's the artist that made the intro, him and Adele. So shout out to AJ and Adele for doing their thing.
Listen,
you know, the
you
real
gotta
word.
use her name or else she's not gonna promote us. Galaxy.
Galaxy. Okay.
Listen, I got you.
Also, we got the round table, so you already know the gold table.
Still liking it.
We ain't Jada Pinkett Smith. We not doing red table talk. We doing gold table talk. You already know. So we already know.
My handkerchief.
Craig gotta be professional. It's GQ. You already know.
Professional as always.
So today we got a very special episode. We talking about a topic that's been in the discussion in the news lately. That's been real heavy lately. That's the police brutality that's been going on. Unfortunately, there's multiple cases. We was trying to have a full forum, but you know things happen. But you know we got four gentlemen ourselves, looking dapper and handsome, so we're gonna speak on it.
Yeah.
So the first one we're gonna speak on is.
Well, we're gonna speak on Ahmed Aberi. He was shot. He was a jogger that was shot in Georgia by two individuals. You have McMichael and his son Travis, and they both have the same attorney
As Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
And that's another case that's going on, right?
Yeah, they got the same case for this young lady named Breonna Taylor that lived in Louisiana, Kentucky.
So let's start off with the jogger in Georgia. The jogger in Georgia. So what you guys think about that case? Because a lot of people are saying that the guys basically accused him of trying to rob the place. They said that he went into the construction site to steal. Yeah. And they said that he also looked like someone that was there prior. And but when they looked at the surveillance, they saw that nothing was stolen, and they did not see him take anything on camera neither. They were saying that they were going to do a citizen's arrest, but the law doesn't allow a citizen for you to pursue, especially if you didn't observe a crime. They're saying that the crime that they observed was him breaking and entering and stealing, but he couldn't really break in because it was a construction site. Exactly. He didn't steal anything, but they still chased him to the point where he felt like his life was in danger, and then an altercation ensued between him, a father and son, which ultimately led up to his fatal shooting. So what do you guys think about that?
Well,
speak loud so the camera can hear us.
I'm just You confused?
No, I'm conflicted on the timing of all of this. I felt like they saved it for after COVID or
because it took them about 2 months for them to arrest the guy?
Yeah, in February.
Yeah, they had it on footage and you didn't hear nothing about it, and it's starting to get hot.
It's like when it became more in mainstream, so now that everybody knows about the topic, you gotta
they gotta talk about it.
Because if it was just a small story, he would have went away, he would have never got arrested.
But then a lot of people saying that it's because of the fact that he used to be a police officer and he was cool with the district attorney, and the officers were ready to arrest him, but the district attorney said, don't arrest him, don't press charges.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict of interest going on in that, where a lot of people have to step down. That's why I used to bring a lot of outside people to come, prosecute and stuff. What was crazy about that situation, like when I first saw the video, like, he was jogging. I mean, like, be that as it may, people say it only like he was wearing jogging clothes. Alright, cool, whatever. But he's just running, jogging, tries to go around, like, people just come block you in the way with guns in their hand. Yeah. And then,
especially to white people.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I spend a lot of time, like, looking at news on Yahoo.com every day. And I love when white people, look up to claim that racism don't exist. But I'm like, you can just go to comment sections of any type of site. You're gonna see what your people are saying.
Especially World Star.
World Star is one of the biggest platforms.
So every time like that happens, the first thing they'd be like, oh, they throw everything. Oh, you don't know the whole story, one, or like, oh well, like he probably had a criminal history, or like, oh, if somebody give you a lawful order, they throw out everything that try to justify somebody's life being taken. Yeah. And then I remember there was like a story that came out. It was an NFL player, like it was right before this story came out. It was a week before, so it wasn't bigger. But like that was
familiar.
Yeah, but then with the NFL player, like he didn't get killed, so thank God. But he was at the gas station smoking weed, whatever. The cop approaches him, and then like and he's trying to arrest him. The NFL player was like, he's just like, nah, he's not fighting him or nothing. He's just like, nah, he about to get back in his car, and then all of a sudden, like, cop, pulled out his gun, pointed at him like yo, yo, get out the car so you can get him on the ground. Cause mind you, the whole time he's trying to grab his arm, the guy just pulled his arm and he's pleading with some. It's like a woman there as a witness, something like that, and the cop pulled out his gun, and the people in the comment section are like, oh yeah, because he ignored a lawful order. I'm like, yo, I used to be a police officer, like. They tell you before you even get to a gun, you're supposed to go through the levels of use of force in the policy. Yeah. Like, depending on what the person.
Some of them are shook, though.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that. Like, every time you pull out your gun, you're supposed to explain it. You feel me? Like, you like how you gonna explain you pull out your gun? Like especially the person who wasn't armed, who wasn't fighting. Like, if you want to get compliance, like the first thing you're supposed to go on your tool belt, you got a baton, you got tasers, you got your OC spray,
all these other things you can
use. Like stuff to get compliance.
He wanted to flex.
Exactly. So if you pull out your gun, what you gonna do with the gun? You can't hit somebody with the gun. You gotta shoot somebody, and that's deadly force. Like you gotta explain why deadly force was necessary. Like every bullet you take, come out the gun, you gotta explain for it too. So like people in the comment section trying to be like, oh, but he ignored it all, or so I commented, I asked the person like, so if you gotta feel like this way because the person don't look like you. So what if it was one of your kids between the ages of 17, 25, and then he's trying to smoke weed, the cops roll up on, because we know white kids, like the cops come up on them and be like, hey, no, fuck out of here, guys.
They actually
you know, and
they're actually very, like, they already feel empowered, you know?
Exactly, like they got their privilege. They're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, if a cop did that, all of a sudden just pulled out a gun on your kid, like, would you be okay with it? Somebody, one dude actually commented like, oh yeah, I would, because if a cop had to pull a gun on my son, he would have a lot more to worry about than the cop doing with me. I'm like, are you like?
We don't feel like that over here. We can't fight them. Like,
I'm like, yo, I'm like, dude, you sick, right? I'm like, but that's what they would say in their minds, like yeah, like a cop gave you an order and it's law, like you have to follow, or like the cop can kill you, like. It's not a video game, it's real life, and it's rules. Like, cops have rules they gotta follow, too.
And they don't, do they get punished enough for not following their rules?
No, not really.
Like, they try to put them on lead. Like they get them off, like, say, like, trial and stuff, but, like, they don't end up firing them, most likely.
Yeah, most of the time. But
they'll still be free. Like,
do they get paid after they get, like, any unemployment?
Not all the time.
You wouldn't hear it. You don't hear it much on the news, but I feel like you get paid still.
Yeah.
It's legal if a cop is making an unlawful arrest and they're holding you and they're attacking you. It's legal to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Because if they're making an unlawful arrest, then it makes it illegal. Mm-hmm. Then you could defend yourself.
Yeah.
It's like if you didn't do anything and then the cops come in your house and they handcuff you, technically, like, that's kidnap. Because first when they come into your house, they have to identify themselves, like,
and have
it's
a
the
warrant.
police. Yeah, they have to have a warrant most of the time, unless there's a crime being committed at that time.
At the moment.
That's what happened in that last situation with the woman that died, right?
Yeah.
When they said they had a no-knock warrant, but they claimed they still knocked and nobody answered. But then, like, they had guns and they came in, and so her boyfriend thought, you know,
it was people breaking in.
So he started
people doing his thing.
Yeah, and then so they
he's in jail right now.
Yeah, exactly. But that's where he gets money when you say, like, if it's unlawful. Because, like, in those situations, there's no right or, like, there's no win, I should say. Because if a cop starts attacking you or come after you illegally, and then you fight back, now they feel like, oh, but you assaulted the officer. Like, you feel me? Like,
they feel like they have the right to clap back.
Their words against yours, you feel me? Like,
but they already came in ready to clap.
So, exactly. So it's basically like you just gotta take it, and then you gotta try to fight it.
You gotta deal with them being hostile to you.
That's what I always heard. Like don't fight them on the street, fight them in the courtroom. Like is what I always say here, because you can't win in the streets.
Yeah.
like if
they gonna kill you.
You're not gonna be able to win
all the time.
So you gotta just fight them.
How hard is it being a black man in America? That's the question.
There was another case where because these cops, they've been in the media, they've been using the word vigilante to describe some of
Batman
these officers. So like, there was another case of this off-duty officer, but he put on his uniform and then he came with a crowd of people. And then he went to this kid's house, and then he tried to force his way in, saying that they think of girls in there.
Yeah, they kidnapped somebody.
And then they kept trying to force it, and then his mom had to hide him behind her, because she's like, I know if I put him first, they probably kill him.
That's actually freaking crazy.
That's something that they used to do back in the day during Jim Crow stuff, when the sheriff come with the mob of people and pitchforks and try to drag you out your crib to lynch you.
Yeah.
That's what
at least they respect the women now. At least, because back in the days they didn't respect women enough to even let that work.
Some respect them, not all.
Because they killed the lady.
They
shot her 6 times?
Yeah.
And she was a essential worker. She was a paramedic.
Yeah. They shooting somebody that.
And the person that they came for was already arrested.
So why were they still clapping?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like they had the wrong address.
They
ended up having the wrong address.
What advice would y'all give to the black kids? Because I'm thinking, when did we get our first taste of, I'll say unjust treatment? Yeah.
I think
it had something to do with the party.
Oh, me? I remember one of my first times I was working at Daffy's, and you remember back in the day I used to have that 2-door Toyota Celica. That was my first car.
It was a coupe.
Yeah, so
what you call the Moonlight or something?
It was fire. Like it had GT on the
it was like
hood,
a race car.
And the stripes on the side, and had the GT in the back.
It was hard stunting back then because it just put a bigger target on our back.
Mind you, the car was like an old 02, but it looked pretty new for the back in the 2009, 2010.
Yeah, it was clean.
So
it was like it was less than 10 years old when you had it.
So I was driving it, and then I'm coming from, mind you, because back in the day they used to do OD. What's checkpoints everywhere, like be like on Atlantic, Utica, Remsen, everywhere. Like
it was like a regular weekend,
like away as soon as you got off the belt.
And like every checkpoint, I already knew. Like as soon as they see my face, like they're like, "Yo, pull over to the side." Like black dude in a race in a sports car. Like they see a white woman, a white guy in a minivan. They're like, "All right, keep going." They see me in a sports car. Yo, pull over to the right. So one day I was coming from Daffy's. I'm driving, big bus a right from Utica onto Remsen, and all of a sudden they pulled me over, and one white dude, he's like, "Oh, license registration, all right, here you go." And then
he let you go easy.
Then he went back to the car to run my stuff, and then the light skin lady come like, "Oh, so what you gonna do tonight? Trying to pop?" I was like, what? I don't even know what that means. Like, you're like,
when they
you trying to pop? You trying to pop? You trying to pop tonight? What's up? It's like,
I don't understand your language.
Well, I'm about to say like that's not even my language.
I'm like,
at least use the language.
Like, what you talking about? Like,
you gonna try to be cool? Use the language. Like,
I'm like, pop off. Like, what are you talking about? Wow. And she's like, so some of these like license registrations. I'm like, I just gave it to the guy before you. Then the next guy came like, what's up? What you trying to do? I'm like, I'm not trying to do nothing. He's like, and they said, so he asked me, then he asked me for my license registration. I'm like, I just told her I gave it to the first dude, and they going in, and then
why you don't got 3 licenses?
And then that white dude comes back. The first cop comes back like, all right, he's clean, and the shorty gonna be like, oh, you got lucky. I'm like, I got lucky for doing the right thing, like, cause I'm clean, like I got lucky. I'm like, y'all wild, nothing go off. Like, I'm like, after that, I'm like, I'm not going through no more checkpoints. Nothing time they held me till they found something wrong. Remember, we used to have dark tints, like we used to have 5% tints.
Yeah, we know what dark tints is.
But I have my 2 door, and I know the drill. You pull out the window, they don't really give you tickets on 2 doors like that. Yeah. But they was looking for trouble because I'm at the checkpoint.
There's some cops that would be like, pull your window up.
Yo, I was there from like the sun was up, and then it became dark outside. I was like 5th in the line. They moved me up in the line. I was like, I was still waiting, and they was running my tag for mad long. And then like, that
happened to me on Remsen, man.
And then the cop finally pulled up.
Daffy's too. Why weren't they doing it so much more than Daffy's days? Now I'm thinking about it.
Because you know why? Because like after they finally gave me a ticket, and then like I was like, nah, I'm gonna fight this in the court. And then like so like they kept pushing it back. So it was like 2 years later when I finally went to court. It was like 2 years later when I finally went to court for it. And then I was standing there with the judge, and I see a cop. I'm like, yo, is this the cop that even gave me the ticket? I don't remember this dude. So I'm in front of the judge, and he's telling the judge like, yeah, at this time, and then the subject, you're going through the whole thing in the notes, and then the judge like, wait, hold up. So why you pulled him over? And he's like, yeah, it's a checkpoint. He's like, but why'd you pull him over? And he's like, it's
a little darker than usual.
So what's the criteria to check? Like, it was random. Like, so what was the criteria? Made it random. Like, every 3rd car. Like, so what number was his car? He's like, I don't know. I'm not the person that pulled him over. And the judge like,
he said, I'm not the person that pulled him.
The judge like, dismissed.
I wasn't even here. Officer, like, it wasn't even me. Like,
they sent other officers with their notes and they let them do it for them.
Yeah, I'm like, the rookie cops probably.
Yeah. But like, it's funny you said that because I put that in my mind. Like, yo, is it because my tint's too dark or my skin too dark? I wasn't playing.
The bars. We got bars.
Yeah. I remember
real bars.
Hit the tracks.
I remember when I was in college studying law in undergrad, and I remember I got pulled over a couple blocks. Because you remember we used to park under the BQE?
Yeah.
So I was by Fort Greene Park. I didn't even get that far. They pulled me over. Who car is this? Is it your mom's car? Is it your girlfriend's car? Because I know it's not your car.
Already provoking.
I'm like, wow.
You don't even know me, officer.
And then that was like, you know what? Get out the car. I'm like, nah. I'm like, there's 3 white cops. I'm by the park. I was on one side.
I've seen this on the news already. Like,
he was like,
that's rough.
He was like, I'm not axing. And then he told the other cop, open up his car door. So the cop, because I put the windows down because of the tents, he reached in. And then I tried to lock it. I was like, nah. And then he's like, are you reaching for a gun? I threw my hands up. I was like, you know what? They opened the car. They pulled me out. They put me in the back of They told me to come to the back of my car while they searched the car.
I've
Then
been
they came
through
to
that.
the back.
I think we went through that going to a party one time.
Then they found the CPLR, the central, the civil proceedings law book. Ironically, the person that wrote the civil penal code was my professor for civil law.
Did they believe that when you told them?
No. And then he was like, "Oh, so what's this book for? Oh, you studying law? Look at me. I'm the law out here." That's what he told me.
That's what most of them tell you.
You gotta start shouting out their name, like.
Not even their badge number.
Yeah, their badge number.
Officer 2215, like what you doing?
Try to irritate them more. You know how to read numbers? Like,
Whoa. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's funny you said, because that's a quick little tip too. They said like if young black people, y'all should probably drive around with some college textbooks in your passenger seat or like your back seat, because they're more likely to leave y'all alone too when you got some.
Because it won't look that good on the news.
Whoa, this guy knows.
He had college books. He was going to school, but
you might as well be like, yeah, you know, I'm coming down from university.
I ain't gonna lie, I used to hide
my mom's.
the ganja in the book bag, you know.
That's not a good idea, brother.
Listen, they were not supposed to go in my book bag, but they did.
Another thing about it
You know what
is
they do.
the whole social distancing thing. A lot of people have been saying that they've been enforcing it more in black communities than in other communities. The example that they gave was especially in New York. The example that they gave was they compared the funeral of a rabbi where they had thousands of Hasidic Jews in the middle of the street. It was no incident. No one got arrested. No one got touched. No nothing. And then there was another incident in Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Wasn't it like freaking 10 people or something?
It was a melee, bro. It was a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the cops, they arrested a couple people. They beat a couple people up. A couple people got GoFundMe started. Yeah. It was really bad.
It's go bad when you gotta go on GoFundMe.
And then they showed a situation in Central Park where there's like all these people hanging out and the cops are not doing anything. So a lot of people saying like it's a color thing. Other people were saying that usually around this time, especially around voting time, they usually do a police killing black people so that blacks could vote Democrat because they think that the Democrats are for them and all the Republicans are racist. That's the game that they've been playing for a while. But at the same time, Democrats has hurt black people a lot because Bill Clinton came with that law that put black people in jail for a very long time. And then his wife, she called black people super predators. And we see black people's been giving away their vote for years.
Because who are we going to really vote for?
We always vote Democrat because we've made to think that if we vote Republican, like we're a sellout.
That's extra white,
Or we're a sellout. We're like a bougie black person.
Yeah.
Once we
I'm not gonna lie. Some black people who have been, Republicans have been like they kind of hard hearing. Mm-hmm. You can't really talk to them in a sense, especially during the whole Trump thing. Yeah. You couldn't really talk to them. You couldn't give them no opinion. They were stuck in their ways and. Even after all of this, they, some of them apologize or whatever for how they felt back then. But there's a lot going on. It's hard being a black man in America, man.
That's because like those, like the presidency and stuff like that. That's not what's important though. Like what's really important was going on in your city with the local stuff. That's the laws that really affect people. Like
true.
Even when they come out of nowhere with this whole like no more bags thing. Like
that stuff. How long did that last?
You feel me? But that stuff they was voting on. You feel me? But nobody knew until it happened. You feel me? Like I'm just like yo, I can't get no bags no more. Like
Nah, this is a new law, and they don't really let you get a vote to it.
And they make you
gotta be within the circle in a way.
Nah, but you have to vote vote your Congress people or representatives and stuff like that. The people that like support stuff that you would want. Like stuff like that. And then like if they going for certain things, certain laws, then like I'm gonna get them out of there or whatever type of thing like that. But that's what really affects us the most. Like besides the president
space around you,
and everything like that. The other thing too, like more black people gotta get into like those positions,
politics,
not even just politics, but like just positions of like power or influence, like we need more black police officers, we need
that's
more,
what we were doing.
More black teachers, more black, politicians, more black people in the government, because
we need our own.
Yeah, but we gotta look out for
somebody
ourselves.
To trust. Yeah,
exactly. So
not gonna lie,
can't just rely on like just black the white people and then the minorities be the just a certain Hispanic people who like that are represented and things like that, because they're gonna focus on their demographic first, and then other people after.
They're gonna focus on their family first. I mean, you can't even knock it. It's just instinct, you know.
That's why a lot of people have been saying that the black people have been giving away the vote. Like we've been giving away the black vote. Like we never demand for nothing. We never ask for nothing, and we never hold the politicians to something.
I actually saw a post too. We're harsh on each other. You know, we demand such a high standard of each other that we don't give each other a chance.
A perfect example of that, and like some people might say different or whatever, but like it's just in entertainment itself. If you see the certain shows like say like the creator of like Blackish or whatever shows, like people are super critical of him, or like even Tyler Perry, like black creators like that, like they'll
they gotta be perfect,
you know, like oh it's not enough dark skinned people, oh you know you like this the colorism, this da 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 da.
I didn't like that joke.
You know it's crazy, but then like they'll be cool watching shows like Love and Hip Hop or whatever that like you know that'll describe us in a bad way, but like that's run by white people. Like, they'll be like, oh, like if it's it's a different show showing bougie black people. Oh well, I don't like how they like that. Black person shouldn't be like that. But there's like when white people is portraying us, it's better for them to like accept. I'm like, yo,
which is weird because they don't portray us pretty good at all. They actually portray the worst of us.
Exactly. So
usually ratchet. Usually
instead of just being happy, like we got a black person, you know, trying to make it in the industry or whatever. Like
that's why
more harsh.
built us as, man. That's why they.
Right.
That's why they give that image out.
Nowadays, it's kind of like ratchet or hood is just black people.
Yeah, but it's not.
If you stand proper like this, they gonna think we sellouts.
Yeah, it's crazy because then that type of criticism they'll have for the black person, like, oh, we're not monolithic, we're not da da da. But it's like then you support the stuff that is showing us as one thing, as like thugs and hood rats and ratchets.
Yeah, let's ask them to watch the real word.
They be like, whoa.
But it's much easier to go watch, some girl shaking her booty.
And girls been acting like them loving hip hop girls. Like they wanna argue, mad loud, talk loud, be ratchet, like doing all these crazy stuff.
And they call that free. They think that's being free. Oh, you trying to hold me? You trying to restrict me from being myself?
But like the crazy thing is, if we made a medium or showing them like that, then it'll be a problem.
Oh, and it was us. Oh, how can you do that to our people?
It'll be degrading them. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the line
very true? Because if we was to make a show with girls shaking their booty, black people would be like, yo, they're discriminating. They're ruining our own people. But let white people do it, they be like, yeah, they've been doing it for years. Let's just watch it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then they be like, oh, this is entertainment.
For example, look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. He came back as a snitch. He put big booty video girls in his video, and it went viral.
And everybody's back on his
in hours, he hit 15 million.
And they was comparing it to Tupac.
Yeah. He broke Eminem record.
Yeah, in 24 hours.
Does anything matter anymore? We got fake artists, we got liars, we got snitches. This is everything
Nothing
that was
matter because then he broke all his records, but the Billboard said, "Nah, you're not gonna make me number one," because Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber went to go buy.
So Justin Bieber still
number one.
They still number one.
They bought the stock.
Yeah, and then Tekashi 6ix9ine, he was complaining, so they just took off
his
his whole artist page off Billboard. Like,
they took him down.
It's the same thing with the Grammys. Like the Grammys don't mean nothing. Like that's why Kanye used to get mad. He's like, yo, y'all invite us here just to lose.
Because they already picked
that Moonlight song.
They picked who was gonna win before.
Yeah,
it's about who's popular.
Same thing with the Oscars So White. But they show that it's a group of delegates, old white people deciding on you, and they validating you. They're like, why are we giving them this much power?
Facts.
Over us?
Why do they think and they're not even the musicians?
It's like we don't think we're good enough until they say we're good enough.
Y'all never noticed like it'd be like some random new white artist from like Europe that just blow up, breaking mad records, selling mad records.
Billy English.
Yeah, she's the latest one. Like
they just pull up somebody too. I swear they got a vote of them, and they like, all right, it's been a while. Let's go dominate the music game. Like
they say,
bring Charlie in. Bring Charlie.
Hey, it's your turn.
Charlie, just stand up there and sing. We don't care how your voice sounds.
You got people like J. Cole and Kendrick. They could barely win a Grammy.
Yeah. Mind you, they were saying some of the most poetic, inspiring stuff. They were saying deep things. But
Just like Adele, when she won the Grammy, she was like, I don't deserve this. Beyonce deserves it.
Yeah, but I mean, she knew the
Same
truth.
thing with
Speaking the truth, come on.
yeah, the same thing with Macklemore. Like they gave it to him because he made that one song supporting gay people, and then then he messed up because
supporting gay people and buying used clothes.
yeah, exactly. But then he messed up because then he made a song supporting black people, and they were like, nah, they canceled him. It's like, nah, you went too far.
Yo, he's off the team. Drop him.
And you never heard from him ever since. He's been gone.
Last time I seen him was when he was at.
He really got clipped. Like they clipped him. Like
That's exactly what happened.
they put him in the sunken place. I see him like.
They put him back on the show.
He felt mad bad when he won that Grammy over Kendrick, and he's like, he apologized to Kendrick. Black people made him feel bad, so he made a song like, sorry, like, trying to pick up black people, and then the white people.
He had to apologize.
And apologize.
Apologize. Say sorry anyways.
You knew you didn't deserve that. Apologize to us.
And that's a big issue within the black community, especially hip hop. Like hip hop is ran by white people. Basically, they own most of the labels.
Yeah.
The only one that really fully owns their label is Jay-Z a little bit.
He still have to.
Yeah, he signed a Live Nation.
Yeah.
And
Still
Diddy
have to go
maybe, but like I guess you could say that they're the gatekeepers, but then there's some people that don't really respect them.
Yeah.
Like say for example, Bootsy. I mean Lil
Uzi?
Uzi. Yeah. He'd be like, Jay-Z can't tell me what to do. I'm not picking up that man phone call. I'm not listening.
Yeah.
But we lack the discipline and we lack leadership. That's why we don't get respect on a big scale.
They always kill our leaders. That's
who represents black people? Like, say for example, something happens to a black man right now. Who's gonna stand up? Who's gonna be like, all right, black people, let's galvanize, let's come together, let's unify.
Usually
let's
we was
make a
doing it
stand.
through music.
Yeah.
Now they took the music game from us, and they poison the kids to the point where they just think ratchet is music to them.
It basically was done, bro. I mean,
They took away the conscious music, so now we gotta find another way.
Basically, like all our heroes and icons, they like basically. And I was watching a YouTube about that too, like how they like. What's the word? Like they tore them all down basically, and they say like Cosby. And,
they pulled out all the dirt on them.
Like all the people that used to be outspoken, because one of the ways that you could test somebody out, like you remove their credibility, you make them look crazy, and then
I'm not gonna lie, the Bill Cosby one was like a mental wake up for me, because it was like, how y'all take down this leader? Like,
and they had no proof. Yeah. It's not like they have proof, because this stuff happened 20, 30 years ago.
And now they just bringing it up.
Just because of he was gonna be pretty much, if the kids was able to look at the Cosby Show, they would be able to see a father figure. They took away another father figure.
We gotta remember, like when you try to buy CBS, that's a big company, bro.
That was the thing. They clipped them. Another person getting clipped. Like
the CBS is owned by Rockefeller.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I killed his son because his son was. They said his son was in a Mercedes, changing the tire, but they claimed he was changing the tire, but he had run flats, like cars that could run on flat tires.
Yeah,
because I got those too.
I heard about those tires. Those are expensive.
Yeah,
those are good tires though.
I got Pirellis, so Pirellis make those. Mm-hmm. So Benzes come with those, like high-end cars come with those.
Y'all.
So it's like, why would you be changing a tire on a run flat car? That doesn't make sense. And then they killed him. Same way how they killed Michael Jordan's father. Yeah. And then he had to leave basketball and go play baseball and then come back.
Yeah, over the gambling thing and everything.
Yeah,
it was wild, man.
They took the joy out of his.
Yeah, they almost shot to him down too. That's why Michael Jordan stayed out of all the politics. He was like,
but that's a good idea.
Jake drove him out of basketball. Like he was like, I'm gonna stay out of this politics.
They don't show Rickard. They don't show.
He's the greatest player of all time, but he does not like to be on social media.
He don't talk at all. He don't try to say nothing about the big events because he knows. He knows what they would do.
But like another thing that they try to do though is that because of that. They knew now, mind you, the Jordan documentary will be praising Jordan, talking about him, blah blah. But for some reason, why LeBron's in the discussion, like I don't even know why we even talking about him, but just because he's active, Like they've been trying to tear LeBron for a minute for some reason.
They can't though, because he's behaved. He's very he don't speak improper. He don't lose his temper.
Exactly. Thank goodness for LeBron. Like he don't got no criminal history. Like him and his wife been together forever, and like same kids, same parents.
I'm not gonna lie. He did his thing in terms of inspiration because I'm proud of that.
He
man.
kept his story clean.
Like the only way that they could try to bring him down is like, oh, but Jordan. Like so that's the only thing that they can try to use against him. But
And they always use that.
He did his thing on history, man.
But every time he tries to speak up for the right thing, yo, they come out the woodworks and try to attack him too. So it's like, yo, like they don't let nobody become that next leader.
They don't want him to be a leader.
They don't.
They want him to. He gonna lead in a sense of example, but he can't speak about it.
Yeah.
LeBron did his thing though. I said he spoke about some things. I was proud that he even said anything. Like you said, he got a good reputation. He's been clean so far until one day they pull out the dirt on him.
Turns out that LeBron.
You know the paparazzi, they in the window like this, like, yo,
They've been claiming lately that like he's been cheating on his wife with a white woman, but they said that that's not true.
And that's like the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah.
Once they hear that story, a black man cheat on his woman with a white woman. Oh man, we can't listen to him no more. Like reputation is destroyed, ripped. Like
and then every time like one of these things come up, they always got like some black agents that work against the black community, like that Candace Owens shorty.
Yeah.
And
I mean, what then?
Don Lemon.
Yeah.
That be like, oh no.
But Candace Owens been going in lately. Like, what's wrong with her though?
I don't know.
Before they had Stacey Dash.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
That used to be my crush, man. I tear up every time. She's done.
She is done, bro.
That's crazy. I don't know, man.
So what you guys think that we can do as a community to like address this and to fix it? Even like try to deal with this issue, because we can't keep sweeping it under the rug. And the fact that we lack leadership, and we lack. The black vote is not as strong as we was. Even the Spanish vote stronger than us. The gay vote stronger than us. The Jewish vote way stronger than us. It's like
the black man. It's hard being a black man in America, man.
I mean, I feel like we should stop. I feel like we should stop trying to compete with one another.
That's one. That's definitely because
when we always try to compete with one another, envy's always gonna come into play. Mm-hmm. And when envy comes into play, some people.
I like to think we all kings, so we all got our people to feed and everything, but
like sometimes
we need our own space, like Malcolm X was saying in what Martin Luther King was eventually going to push for. We need to stay at Black Wall Street. All these examples of trying to be just with each other.
There's black hoods, but it's not no black communities.
No. Black hoods are just projects, like they say, They experimenting on...
Chinatown is a big example.
Canarsie was a decent black hood, and then it's like, I don't know.
So this day, no one can tell me now. We ain't grow up in the hood, man.
The one thing we gotta do is we gotta get policies that's in our favor.
Yeah.
Like we gotta formalize and organize to like be able to get those policies passed through, get those rules, because until those policies aren't passed, like it's like these rules are working against us.
But in order,
so we need something to work for us.
In order for those things to happen, like because our community, we like to have fun and be entertained too much. So
that's very true.
That's the reason why we miss out when all these acts come.
That's
and
true. We only know about entertainment business.
Yeah, like when a new song drop. Oh,
we know it, but we don't know what the rules are for politics or what they voting for.
Like right now,
not by heart.
We gotta do research.
Like during this Corona time, we got Corona's here. They coming up with new laws and stuff.
I got an idea for y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Well, I think I brought it up to him before, but kind of like a fresh start, building up a savings that every young black man when he turns 18 or even 21, kind of like what Ghost did to his kid in the show, where he was like, after you graduate college, you get this amount of money. Because I feel like
he created a trust account.
Yeah, so in a sense of a trust for the black African American community. So every child that grows up, forget about what your parents have, forget about what situation you have. When you turn 21 and you make it this far, you get this amount of money, you get to start your own thing. I think it'll just make the young mind think of the future,
It forces you it gives you an incentive to fall in line for a better future with yourself.
Instead of a politician that actually had like that was a part of his thing on the Democratic side, but he didn't make it. And then the Chang dude was trying to do something like that too by giving people some type of money every month.
I feel like we should have something like that. Because the young, at least thinking about myself, just if you don't, even any black person, if you don't grow up with a rich family, you kind of think miserable for your future. In a sense of like, damn, I'm gonna have to bust my ass. Like,
especially if you don't have any good role models in front of you, people that's gonna push
not on
you
TV.
Yeah.
TV role models are even worse than ever now. Like the black, not even the black man, just men in general. Looks like they're getting tarnished on TV. Like
we are tarnished.
Like,
come after all of us.
That's everything. Like people just learning from TV and social media how to do relationships, how to just
and we want
like do
to
business.
start working right now.
Yeah,
like a lot of people.
What impressed me as a group, collective, we try to be too much like others and we don't try to be unique.
I like that.
That's a big one.
We need our own.
Following
We need our own again.
It's
Like
hurting us
BET,
a lot.
like what we used to have.
I'm saying like people need to collaborate more. Like a lot of people, I see everybody trying to start their own business nowadays, but it's like people, it's like
It's
when people
hard.
trying to start the same businesses. Like instead of like one person want to have their whole like hair,
Egos.
eyelash, and whatever business. Why don't you get somebody that's good at different parts of the business? Y'all come together,
Yeah,
and then
work
all of a
together.
sudden, like y'all build your business together. Like because more heads are better than one.
Facts.
Whatever. So people could collaborate. Some people's good at accounting and paperwork. Some people are good at marketing. Some people's good at actually getting a product.
But the thing about us is like, even when we get a business, what are we trying to do? We trying to outshine each other, and one way we try to outshine
It's a lot
each
of
other.
ego. We got a lot
We're not
of
supporting
ego.
each other's business.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel
All
like
we do is like we watching from the corner. It's like
We
I'm
watching
watching
you
you.
to fail.
Yeah,
basically.
I'm watching you, but I ain't gonna click the like button.
A perfect example is when Nipsey died. Everybody was like, "Yo, Nipsey was doing a lot of great things in the community.
we
He was
didn't hear
doing
that
his
much
thing."
when he was alive.
Exactly, but then it was like, "Yo, if it was me, I would support someone that's doing a lot in their community." I'm like, "Really? Have you ever heard of the real word?"
Exactly right. But no, they don't
Help me!
We giving the real word out, but it's like,
Help me!
They're like, nah, because if I help you, then you're going to be better than, you're going to be harder where I'm at. Like, nah.
It's a lot of ego. A lot of ego.
yeah.
You know, it's weird. I feel like the black woman is more prideful and have more ego than the black man now. Like, it'd be hard
Why
to
do you
talk
feel
to some.
that? Why you feel
In a
that
sense,
way?
other than what I wouldn't say the white man. What America has been portraying is, you don't need him. You don't need the black man. You don't need
But
them.
who
men.
been portraying that?
But that's been like,
Them and the America.
yeah, they said that's been like, them targeting, basically eliminating the father or the black male out the families. And like when they got thrown on drugs or they arrested them, and then like making women feel like, like they could be the man and the woman of the family, or they don't
But
need a
you
man
can't do
to raise their kids and stuff like that.
You can survive, but you can't strive.
Who's helping them when the black man is in jail or dead?
The
Yeah,
white
man, the man.
Yeah, when they go to that office.
And ironically, even the black man calls the white man the man.
You right?
They've been emasculating black men for a minute.
Yeah. And the fact that all black guys now are calling each other king, and I'm just saying like, yo, if everyone's a king, then no one's a king. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like, why don't we just pick one king like how every other race could pick one king?
Well, you know why I do like the whole everyone calling each other kings thing? It's kind of like we
uplifting each other in a sense.
Yeah, and then we hide the king in a sense of you don't need to have that one face. We all have to have in a sense of the same feeling or same identity or same pride. We kings and queens instead of nah, I'm not talking to this nigga. And I'm not talking to this nigga, but nah, you gotta raise them, like in a sense of,
But you're not just most of the elderly people. They're not trying to raise the youth because they don't want the youth to outshine them.
I hear about
A lot of them is ignorant too. Like they don't know. They don't know. You feel me? So like
they just worried about their business.
But they lost as well. Like you gotta realize that. Like a lot of people say, like when the youngins start to realize that, like, yo, the adults they human. Like they make mistakes too. Like a lot of youth be so scarred by their parents because they're like, oh, da da da. But it's like, you gotta realize, like, they didn't know what they was doing. They was probably kids when they had y'all as kids. Like,
especially in the Jamaican culture, because they were so close to the slavery thing, they just thought the way to raise kids is to beat them the same way the white man was beating them. Like, so
it's what a coincidence.
And then they were just raising more slaves in a sense. They didn't realize what type of mindset they was putting in the kid to, not stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Now that I'm a father, I try to do things a little bit better. I look at the good things that my dad did, and I look at the things I could change.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do with my kids that I wish my dad did more often was take us to the park, spend time with us. Like, he was there financially, and he was there after work when he sat on in front of the TV. But as a man, I never really got to sit down and have a conversation with my dad until I reached my high 20s, high 30s. That's when I would go in the garage, I'll sit down, I'll talk to him, or if I see him outside, we have conversations. But when I was younger, he was too busy sunning me, don't say nothing back, just listen to me.
I feel like I have no patience, My dad was the same way. My dad said how because, he didn't really grow up close to his father, he felt like he didn't know how to be a father, so he was always strict. He didn't know what else to be,
Yeah.
The only time I could say my dad was, being, I would say father of the year, was during basketball. That was the only time I felt he was relaxed and free, and he knew what he was talking about. Other than that, parenthood, like us, we're trying out at it. It's just trial and error, but they had less experience and less books or internet to even know.
I was talking to my mom, because after our grandmom passed and everything, so that's how you see how each generation is supposed to be better than the next, because then, see my mom, she finished high school, but then her moms didn't even go to school. Yeah. You feel me? And then, like said, her moms before that probably didn't even,
probably was
you feel
still
me?
in slavery.
But then, but my grandma say they didn't go to school, but my mom's finished high school, but we got our masters. You feel me? And then so our kids probably gonna be millionaires just fine,
They're supposed to be.
And that's how it's supposed, every generation keep getting better. And of course we have our late start because slavery and everything. But
I feel like that's what we
as soon as we catch up.
That's why the youth is always the future.
It's hard to catch up when they making money.
As long as you don't get an F on life or a felony, then you should be Gucci.
That's the ultimate grade, the F on life, the felony.
Yeah, because then that tarnishes your record.
And then they try to hit you with that felony.
Especially if you're a little darker than usual.
Yeah. I dealt with it a lot growing up. Being dark.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I think the first time I got pulled over was with you. I remember leaving City Tech, and that was during the tense time. But my tense wasn't that dark yet. I would say I was at 35%.
What do you expect? You have 10 windows.
And my car was all white, but I was just
with blue lights.
Come on, you flashing, you stunting.
Yeah, you stunting hard.
You got tents.
Well, that was my first experience of getting brought down to earth. I'll say, I'm driving. He's like, yo, don't take Rockaway Parkway. I'm like, what do you mean? It's the fastest way home. He's like, yo, bro, it's 7 o'clock. The boys is gonna be out. I'm like, nah, let's do this. I'm driving down. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, yo, Rickard, you bad luck. Rickard is like this. It's like, yo, put your hands on the wheel, man.
That's what you better do.
I'm like, nah, this can't be. We got book bags. He's like, that's even worse. They gonna search the bags.
Yeah, back in the days, bro, all them little flatbush dudes used to always have book bags, and most of them always had guns in the book bag.
So they be like, let me see that bag.
There'll be an Atlantic Mall set up with the table ready to search people's bags.
I didn't understand that.
They still do that now, though. But they don't do it that often.
Yeah, not that often, because you might have Corona in your book bag. You're trying to catch that.
I was gonna say gentrified in the neighborhood, but that's another.
Are y'all gonna give y'all kids the police talk?
You got to.
I already did.
Nigga like 6 years old.
Shout out to my boy Biggie. Biggie Donut. He drew me a big picture that said Black Lives Matter on the guy's t-shirt. And so my little boy was like, Black Lives Matter? What does that mean? I said, it means your life matter. He said, oh, I'm a black life? I said, yeah, because at the time, he did not know black and white. I had to teach him.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I didn't think about that at all.
It's because at the time, he was going to school in Bensonhurst, so it was mostly mostly
Asian
white,
and stuff,
Asian and Russian. And he was one of 2 black kids in the class. And for every little thing, they would call him up. They would call us up to the school, and then he had fought this other kid that was white, and he got suspended in kindergarten, and the other kid didn't. So I had to come up there and press the principal, like, yo, like how two kids are fighting, one kid gets suspended, the other kid don't. So what happened to the other kid? Was he hurt? No. Did the ambulance come? No. Was his parents told? No.
What?
So was there really a fight? What really happened? It was like,
your kid.
Come back to school tomorrow. And I'm like, wow. And I said, so is this gonna go in his permanent record or anything? No. It's gonna be like it never happened. All of a sudden, it never happened now. So, like, I bought the picture and I put it in his room so he could see it. And I'm like, yo, don't ever let anyone tell you that you less than anyone else, and always know that your life matters. Like, you equal to everybody else, but you gotta be careful because you're black. And then he was like, oh, I'm black? I said, yeah, like you're black. And then after that, like, he knew the difference, like, you know? And I think you should tell him early, those are the talks you should have about the police talk, the sex talk, the money talk, you know, use
in the islands,
protection, all those things, like
babies.
I feel like, yo, I thought we was just born knowing, or maybe just these shows put us on, like Fresh Prince and Family Matters put us on probably, because like we just knew.
Our parents never had that.
Yeah, so I'm like, we just knew. Like,
I heard about it. My mom gave me the gang talk, but she never gave me the race talk. She gave me the blue and red gang stuff, but she never gave me race talk.
I didn't get none of those.
Yeah,
I had to learn all of that myself.
Yeah,
and then, when I told her stuff was happening, she's like, "What you expect?"
But the thing is, now that we know, it's our job
to teach
the new generation. And like me, like one thing that like this whole experience called life has taught me is that every time you learn something, go back and teach those that's coming after you, and those that are next to you. If they don't know, then teach them as well. And I've had
kings raise kings.
Yeah, and I've had that blessing of being a youth leader where like I've seen generations of kids grow up. And I always tell, like, even the youngest ones among the people that we grew up with, you know, the youngest ones that we grew up with would be Philip and Benry. And I always tell Philip, like, it was one time Philip was about to quit college. And I was like, nah, like, you see all of us finish college. You got to finish college too, bro. You and the crew. And then he said, yeah, man, you right. And then he graduated college. He got a good job now. You know, he's doing his numbers. And it's Benry left. And I'll be telling Benry, like, yo, like, you got to focus on school. Like, don't worry about money, getting flying girls. Like, you know, the stuff that you think is important now, later on, it won't mean nothing. And if you just focus, you're going to have even more of that later. And I think a lot of kids, like, they don't understand that. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I appreciate my brother. Like, my brother, he did his thing, you know, he stayed out of trouble. He graduated school, you know, he's doing his master's now, he got a good job, he's doing his thing, you know, no baby mamas. And
like, you dodged a lot of bullets.
like that's a positive. You know, and I think it's a good thing that my little brother did better than me. You understand? Like, who wouldn't want that? Like, I want my kids to do better than me. I want all the people that come after me to do better than me. If I want someone that come after me to do worse, then that's some sucker stuff.
Like, you're killing your generation.
That's why it all starts within the household.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I know is, like,
we need to build our own society, man.
And when you have kids,
society within society.
It's like this. You have a daughter. If you let your daughter love her next man before he loves you, it's like the next man fully got control of your daughter.
And you gotta teach him how to love too.
Exactly.
You gotta teach him how to love. Like, sometimes for Mother's Day, like if I buy a present for my wife for Mother's Day or for her birthday, I give it to our son to give to her.
Yeah. Facts.
Like, that way it's imputed in his mind, all right, when certain days come along, I gotta show appreciation, I gotta show love. You know, and when he does something, like, I sit him down eye level and I talk to him, I'm like, yo, why you did that? And you know, some kids after a while, they got the script. Yeah, it's wrong. I'm sorry. It's bad. I'm like, why is it bad though? Why? Yeah. Like, you know, it's like reading and comprehending. You could read something, but if you don't comprehend it, it's a waste of time.
You're still gonna make the same mistakes because you don't know what mistakes you really made.
Piece of paper.
They think because they have the answer, they know how to get the answer.
Exactly. And that's why in school they always say, show your math.
Yeah.
Show your work.
Show the evidence.
Show your work.
Evidence is key to everything.
We need to start our own community, man. We need to sit here with a monopoly board and start buying houses.
I mean, we already got the LLC.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to anybody that want to invest. We got the Real World Realty, the Real World Reality, where dreams become reality.
Yes,
If you want to invest, like we doing, well, we were supposed to start that this year till Corona, but you know, on the back end,
Can't stop.
the interest rates
It's
for
over.
houses
It's over.
now is low.
Time's up.
Yeah.
The stock market. I was looking at the stock. My stock market. It went up about like $50 today. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa.
it was looking nice.
Yeah, I was like,
Stocks
whoa.
was looking good.
All my stocks was up. I'm like, whoa, I guess
It's
Corona's gotta be done.
It's almost time.
Moderna, look into that stock, y'all.
Moderna? Wait, what type of stock is that? Technology?
They're the ones,
pharmaceutical?
the pharmaceutical. They're working on the vaccine for Corona, so yo, they already jumped from like $30 to $80. So
30?
And
Oh,
you-
I gotta
so-
get
so
on
it's
that
about
one
to-
real
And you know
fast.
who owns the patent for the vaccine for Corona already?
Bill.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates and the WHO.
Dr.
The world-
Fauci.
And Dr. Fauci, yep.
Wow.
And for those that don't know, Dr. Fauci also got the patent on AIDS. Look that up.
Wow.
Yeah. They said when they first found out about AIDS, they had isolated events, which means they could have stopped AIDS right
Yeah.
away by just, I guess, getting rid of those people, or
But
like
they let it
keep
spread.
they let it spread
spread.
purposely so that he could get the patent. So
They
that
don't want to
could
heal
make
you.
money off of
They
it.
just want you to learn how to live with it.
Because it's more
Yeah.
money.
Hospital bills is a business too, man.
Because the money's in the treatment.
Listen.
Big Pharma.
What I realized last week,
Big Pharma clapping.
birth and death are the biggest businesses that we got. Like babies is this big business, and people dying is big business. Like,
And if they cut you open, if they do a
Caskets are
C-section
like
instead of a
thousands.
natural birth, they make more money.
Yeah, man.
'Cause
That's
it's-
why they've been recommending that for a lot of people now.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what disaster happens, the pharmaceutical company stocks is always going to be up.
You know?
And it's so evil too, because they know that if you don't know something, they could tell you whatever they want.
And they put out one drug and you need like
That's
two,
why-
3 other drugs.
That's why, like, yeah, they a lot of black women used to go through complications when they would have babies and stuff like that. But like, now they learn like it's better to have babies a certain way. But
Yeah.
they used to violate black women, like giving them certain injections that without telling them, like things that would make the kids come out with certain things.
Yeah.
And then
Things like Down syndrome.
and then they'll
and stuff.
blame the black woman. That would be cold blooded. Blame the mother
They
for
say
her
you
own
ain't
kid
taking
that they
your
were.
body.
Yeah, like
Their excuse was that basically that they feel like black women could take more pain than the white woman. So that's
same
why
thing they
did
say
it.
with the black man. That's why we going through all of this. Like, oh, y'all be all right. That's why they didn't give us our 40 acres.
We do.
Y'all can catch up. Don't worry. Y'all
We do know how to take pain, though. We've been taking pain for how long? So it's like what
250
accustomed to.
years and more.
They performed abortions. It was a doctor. Look it up. I forget his name. He used to perform abortions on black women without anesthesia while they was alive on slaves.
Wow.
So he would perform surgeries on these women while they were
And they had to
while
deal with
they were-
all of that.
yeah, because they couldn't do anything and they were considered property. Like a lot of these doctors, they
That's
used to
crazy.
perform surgeries and surgical procedures on their slaves, and that's how they would move forward. Nowadays, they get like test subjects, like they give you money and they're like, okay, we'll come in and we pay you to test these drugs and test these things on you.
That's wild.
That's a
They,
lot of trauma.
they trying to send emails and letters and mail talking about that. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. And another way that they test a lot of people and do surgeries on people is during war, like on the prisoners of war and the people, like during the Holocaust, a lot of the Nazi scientists, like they performed surgeries on the Jewish people, and they said a lot of them was a lot of the scientists and the physicists from Nazi Germany was granted immunity by joining America's by working for the Americans after that.
Yeah.
Just like the lady that started Planned Parenthood, she based her whole ideology on the Nazis, on eugenics.
And they look into that more. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the cause of the biggest Holocaust of black people in America is through Planned Parenthood, through abortions. Is babies being aborted every day. And they
That's
said
actually
that,
still the #1 death in America
Yeah.
right now. Like,
And they said
10
that-
million or something.
and they
like
said that the
Wow.
baby has a heart rate, 15 days after conception.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks after conception. It means 2 weeks after you bust a nut, that baby heart is
baby.
beating.
It's a baby, and they said 10 million. I think they're showing it because I was looking it up in the sense of my mom. She be dramatic talking about Corona's killing the most people, but I had to show the numbers. And me just looking at the numbers myself, it was like abortion is the #1 killer in America.
It's always been. It's always been on the low. They put
On the low, that's the weird thing. Why they keeping it low and then still promoting
and
it?
they put the most abortion clinics in low-income neighborhoods.
Black neighborhoods, pretty like you said, low income.
Yeah. There was a black doctor out in Philly, I forget his name, but he was performing abortions on women with no anesthesia in a dirty hospital thing. He had dead fetuses in the garbage in the office.
That's
that type
sick.
of crazy stuff.
That is sick.
He got sent to jail though. So black people has been going through a lot, and we still been going through a lot, and
We will still
we just gotta overcome.
Going back to Africa, getting a home out there, building a Brooklyn in Africa.
We have a couple live people. Shout out to Jonathan Mio. He said, "What up, my brother?" Shout out to you, Jonathan.
Yo, what's good?
What's up?
Oh, it's your boy.
Yeah. The first job.
Oh yeah, I
out of
remember
college.
him. Yeah, from Parks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jonathan Mio. What up to you? And shout out to Ernst Pierre. He said use them as test subjects. Facts.